Hi, welcome back. I'm certainly glad you could join me today. Today, let's do a happy little winter scene. That's something I think you'll like. So I tell you what, let's start out and have them run all the colors across the screen that you need to paint along with me. And while they're doing that, let me tell you what I've already done. I've got the old 18 by 24 pre-stretched canvas up here. It's covered with liquid white and it's ready to go. So I tell you, let's get started today. I thought today I'd start with the old 2-inch brush and we'll go into a small amount of the phthalo blue. Just a little bit. And I'll be right back. Go reach over here and get a little touch of alizarin crimson. Very small amount. Okay, let's go up here. Let's just do a quick happy little sky today. Just use little crisscross strokes. Just like so. And just dance in a happy little sky. There we go. That's phthalo blue and the least little touch of alizarin crimson. Just the smallest amount of crimson. Don't want much. And we'll come over here and put in something right there. There we go. As I say, I thought today we'd do a little winter scene. They're always very nice. There. Okay, and down here we're going to have a winter scene. Down at the bottom of this, maybe we'll have a little bit of snow. So I'll just use those same colors, and let's just lay in a little blue with a small amount of crimson in it, and this will end up being the shadows in our snow. Same way if we were going to have water down here. We might have water. What the heck? We may change our mind and want some water in here. There. Either way, whether it ends up being water or it's shadows in the snow, it'll be here. Okay, let me clean the old brush off. And we clean our brushes with odorless thinner. Shake off the excess, like that. And just beat the devil out of it. There we go. I drive the people in the studio here crazy. Now I just want to take and blend this a little bit. Just blend it a little. Okay, we'll just bring all that together. Now by not covering the entire sky, you've got some areas that look like little clouds, and you really haven't done a thing. There. Just allow the canvas to work for you and the paint, and you don't have to work yourself to death to do a beautiful little painting. Okay, today let's have some little mountains in here, but let's make them today we'll use alizarin crimson and phthalo blue. Proportionately now we're going to have much more crimson than blue because the blue is many times stronger than the crimson. I put a little white out here just so I could tell what color I had. Maybe I'll have a little more crimson. And you just get this till it's the right flavor. There. That's probably pretty good. Now then, today let's just make some little mountains back here with a fan brush. This is a very easy way of making just a happy little mountain. There, just load both sides full of paint. Okay, let's go up here. Now then, decide where your first little mountain will be, and just using the point or the corner of the fan brush, just sort of lay in a basic shape. There's very little paint, very little pressure on the brush here, just enough to get the color to come off. You don't need much paint. And just lay in your basic shape. Okay, maybe, oh yeah, there we go. Just let your imagination go and just drop in little things wherever you want them. There. Okay, now then, I'm going to take the 2-inch brush and grab that and pull it. The liquid white's on the canvas, this paint will move, it'll slide on the canvas. And I want it to get lighter and lighter toward the base. Grab it and pull. And the brush strokes will make the illusion of highlights and shadows here without ever doing a thing. Just the brush strokes is all you need. Okay, over in here, we'll grab this one and pull him. There. See, now the more you blend these, naturally, the lighter they're going to get in value. So you can keep blending these till they just about go away. So you have to make big decisions here. How strong do you want these to be, or do you want them just to blend right into nothing? And you can do anything that you want. There. Okay, now maybe in our world, tell you what, get a little more paint on the brush here, and just load this the same way, just back and forth with a fan brush. See, that's all it takes. Maybe there's a big mountain that lives right up here in the foreground. And it maybe goes right in front of these and just wherever you want it to go. But this color, I'm applying more pressure. I want it to be darker. As things get closer to you in a landscape, they should get darker. See, maybe it comes right on up here and pushes those way on back. More paint, more color on this particular mountain. Maybe, yeah, you're right. There's another little bump there. But immediately, this pushes those way back into the distance. Now, once again, with a large brush, grab this and pull it. Just pull it. There. That's all there is to it. This is one of the simplest ways of making a mountain. If you've never attempted a mountain before, I guarantee you this one will work for you. There we go. There. See, when I was a kid being raised in Florida, there used to be a car salesman on the radio every morning. That was before the days of television. And I can remember they used to say, "This car has a Georgia guarantee on it." And people would call in and they say, "What's a Georgia guarantee?" And they say, "Well, if it falls in two, both halves are yours." So that's the kind of guarantee we got here. Only this one will work. Now maybe you want to go a little farther than that. I get crazy sometime here. Let's take a tiniest little amount of white. I just want to show you what can be done if you want to. You can take a little bit of white paint on the knife and just graze the canvas, just here and there. All you're doing is just touching and just let it zip. Just graze it. Sort of do that in a fast stroke. It works better. If you have time to think about it, you'll hesitate and it doesn't work as well. Just do it. There. And it'll put the indication here and there of a little bit of highlight. But I don't want that to be too bright. So I'm going to come back and just blend it upward a little bit. And just blend it almost away, because I don't want these mountains to be too distinct. These are easy little mountains that are just fun. And that's just enough to give it a touch of highlight and give you the indication that maybe there's a little bit of snow on there. Okay, let's wash the old brush here. Shake off the excess and just beat the devil out of it. All right. Today, tell you what, let's put some trees back here. Clean off a spot on my palette, even as big as this palette is. Every once in a while I run out of room because I make such a mess on here. We'll use some dark sienna. Into that I'll add a little touch of yellow ochre, but mainly dark sienna. Now, one of the questions I get quite frequently, speaking of palette, people say, "Hey, my palette looks different than yours. Yours is not clear." It was clear, but I take sandpaper and scuff it all up for television use. Otherwise, it shines so bright that it would put great big flares on the screen. So it's just like your palette. It's absolutely crystal clear. It's just that I scuff it all up. Just like the brush furrows here are taped. I put tape on those so they don't shine. Okay, let's go right up here and begin tapping in just the indication of some happy little trees. Start at the base of the tree so it's the darkest and work upward, just tapping. And begin working on some shape and some form. Just tap. There. Okay. And we'll just bring those Maybe we'll just go all the way across with them. What the heck? Wherever you want them. But that easy, you can make the indication of a lot of distant little trees. There. This round brush is fantastic. There's some more back up in there. Lighter, lighter, lighter toward the top. Down in the bottom here, we want them to be dark with shadows. There we go. Wherever you think they should live. Okay. Now then, just let them fade upward. Just sort of disappear up here into the sky. Very soft, very gentle, quiet. There we go. Okay. Now then, let me find my liner brush. I'll add a little paint thinner, and I'll just use that same color. That's all right, same old color. Paint thinner on the liner brush. You want the paint to be thin, like ink. Okay. Now then, we can just take the liner brush and just here and there put the indication of a few little tree trunks that are showing through. And wherever you want them. Don't worry about getting too many in there. It's just here and there, wherever. There. And it just adds a lot of detail to your little trees that are back in the distance. And most of it, we'll probably put a bunch of stuff in here that'll cover most of it up. But some of it will show through. And people look at your paintings and they know that you cared enough to take the time to add some of these little details. There we go. Now maybe there's some snow there. We'll take our big brush. Just use titanium white right on the big brush. And we'll make a big decision here. Maybe our snow line lives right about here. Just grab and give it a pull. See there? Just make a decision and drop it in. That's all there is to it. Wherever you want it to be. Just like so. This big brush, you can paint a lot of snow very rapidly. Doesn't take but a second. And this is where you begin worrying about the lay of the land, or the way the ground flows. That becomes very important at this stage of the game. Now then, I want to make some evergreen trees. We'll have some big evergreen trees here. So I'm going to take some Prussian blue. Boy, that's strong. Black. We'll use some Van Dyke brown. Throw some crimson in there. The one thing that I don't want to use in these trees is green. Now, normally if I was doing a summer scene, I'd add some sap green in here. But if we put green into this color, and it ever gets into your snow, the only thing worse than yellow snow is green snow. So I don't put any green in winter trees like this, because it's a son of a gun if it gets into the snow. There we go. Load the fan brush full. We'll use a fan brush today to make some nice evergreens. And maybe in our world there'll be one who lives right there. And start off with just a line. Now then, use the corner of the brush and work back and forth. There. Now then, as we work down the tree, I'm going to sort of turn the brush over this way today, so the tree will get wider. I want some wider trees there. See, bring him right down into the snow there. And we'll go back up here, and I'll reload the brush. Same way, just to fill it full of paint. Okay, now then, maybe there's another happy tree that lives right about there. And sort of look at your painting. It may be different. You may not want a tree there. You decide in your world where trees live in your paintings. There we go. Wherever you want them, that's the right place for them to be. There. Okay, let's give him a friend. Maybe he's got a friend. Yep, you're right. Right there. You know me. I think everything should have a friend, even if it's just a tree. There. Through painting, I have met so many fantastic friends. It may be the best part of this whole thing. It's a super way to express yourself, and it brings people together. There we go. Maybe there's another little tree. Yep, You're right again. Right there. There he is. There he is. And it doesn't matter if your tree has a limb that maybe this one, it's not the exact same distance out as the other one, because trees grow any way that make them happy. In fact, if your tree gets to where it looks too symmetrical, then it's sort of boring. Trees have personalities. Shoot, they're like people. There's some big ones and some small ones, and each one's an individual. Let them be that way. Don't fight it. Now then, I'll take the large brush and go up underneath this tree, and intentionally here, bring the camera right up here and let's look. Intentionally, I want to pick up some of this blue and let it move. And that's going to create the illusion of a shadow underneath these trees. See there? See, grab that color and just let it pull right on down. There you go. Isn't that fantastic? See, let's go over to this one here. Same thing. Grab it and pull. And it creates that little shadow underneath the tree. There we go. Now, by creating these shadows, look at the planes that are in this painting. See all these different levels? That's what creates depth in your painting. And as you know, if you're out here selling paintings, that's what sells you painting. Let's have another tree. They're so much fun. Do this in stages or in layers. Do the thing that's farthest away first, and then come forward. Continually come forward in your painting. Now see, I want this tree to be in front of all that. So you do that back here, and then you put a tree, big tree, right there. Like that. And we'll make him exactly the same way. And you can make these trees with a 1 or 2 inch brush also. That 2 inch brush, boy, it makes some super trees. I use that a great deal. See, now this tree lives in front of that one, so we'll just right over the top. It's all right. It does not matter. And he lives down here. There he is. Now then, we'll grab our brush with the white on it once again and pull a shadow out from this tree. Don't want him left out. But isn't that fantastic that easy? You have all those little evergreens sitting right up there and snow underneath them, and really works nice. Let me grab another fan brush here. I'm going to dip this fan brush into a small amount of the liquid white, into titanium white, and a least little touch of phthalo blue. The liquid white is in there to make the paint thinner. Okay? Now with the thinner paint, as you know, the thin paint will stick to a thick paint. We can go back in here and we can come right down here and begin adding some highlights or a little bit of snow on these trees. Not looking for a great deal because I don't want to lose this dark contrast. That's very important to me. I like this contrast in this particular painting. I'm afraid if I lose it, then it'll just sort of blend together. This phthalo blue, white, and a little bit of liquid white just to thin the paint so it'll stick. There. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I knew you could do it. There we go. Anything that you want to do, all you have to do is believe you can do it. If you believe you can do it, then you can do it. You can do anything if you believe strong enough. There. That's super. Every day I get letters from people who tell me that's true. They never believed that they'd paint as long as they lived, and they're painting beautiful, beautiful paintings. And it's surprising how many people tell me that they're out selling their paintings. And selling's not important. The money's not important. What's important is that somebody cares enough about what you did to give you their hard-earned happy buck. And it does good things in here. What it does in the wallet, it means nothing. What it does in here, though, you sell one painting and you immediately run home and you'll paint 25 more paintings, and it forces you to practice. I talk too much. Maybe there's a little cabin here. Let's put a little cabin. I like those. Maybe one of the easiest ways to paint a cabin is to take and scrape out a basic shape. Just use the knife and scrape out a general shape. A little bit of that blue get in there and you can see it. And you can scrape out the entire cabin without being committed. See that? Just any way you want to. Now then, let's take some Van Dyke Brown And we'll do this back eave back here. There. Just drop that right in. While I have that on there, zip, we'll go ahead and put in the front. Boy, I sure wished houses were this easy to build. Son of a gun. My father was a carpenter, contractor, did carpenter work, and I spent half my life learning how to work with wood. There we go. And I can tell you that houses aren't this easy to build, for real. Okay? Now, I want a nice straight edge back here, so just take a little of the white and lay in your basic line there. And then when you come down, you'll have a beautiful straight line without any problem. That's sneaky, huh? There we go. Okay, now, the other side of this little house would have some snow laying over there. Drop that in. Okay, we'll use that color we made the tree out of. That was a nice color. I'm going to add some more yellow ochre to it. So it's dark sienna and yellow ochre. Put a little cad yellow into it too. What the heck? Don't overmix. Leave it sort of marbled and cut off a little roll of paint. We'll go back up here and maybe just touch and give a little sidewards pull. Just give it a little pull. There. Okay. There, touch. Give it a little pull. I add a little titanium white. I want to brighten that up so it shows a little better. In your world, you make it any way you want it. There we go. I want this to look like old boards. Now on the side over here, I'm going to add a lot of Van Dyke brown to that, because over here, it should be much darker. Not as much light's going to strike. Now we can do a cabinectomy. Decide where you want this cabin to live. Just take your knife and cut it off. This is the way you clean up your cabin, work on your perspective, get everything together. Grab the little knife. A little touch of brown, we put a window right there. Zoop, that easy. Hope you can see that. There's a little window there. I tell you what, maybe over here there's a little shed. We'll just scratch out a little area for the top. Come back in here. Put a little snow out there. Like that. Come right back with some brown. And we can just lay in the front of the shed. There's the side. Take a little bit of our color. Lay in a few little happy boards here. This is just a tiny shed. And we'll cut it off here in just a second. See there? Now decide where you want it. And do, as I said earlier, you just do a cabinectomy. There. And let's put a door right there. That easy. Now we have a little door. Take a little paint, go around the door so it stands out. And we're in business. Now then, grab a fan brush. We can take the fan brush here, add a little titanium white on it, and just begin putting some snow around the base here. A little blue, a little white. There. Okay. And we got us a happy little cabin. That easy. And maybe, tell you what, maybe there's a little bit of water here. Let's go right into a touch of the phthalo blue. Just a touch. Grab a little of that color we made a tree out of. Don't want too much paint. If there's water here, all you do is grab this and pull straight down. Look at that. Just pull straight down. Decide where the water is living. Pull down. Maybe it goes right on back here. We don't know where it goes. Straight down. And then go across. Like so. Like so. We can take a little touch of brown. Maybe there's some nice stones in here that live. A couple little stones. And take some snow and bring right up over the top. There. A little bit of liquid white on the palette now. And let's go back in here and just cut in the indication of a happy little water line. Like so. See there? Okay, and it goes, this thing goes right on back, this little body of water. Let's get crazy. Shoot. Have some fun here. I'm going back into my dark sienna and yellow ochre mixture with a round brush. Let's have us a nice tree. It lives right here. Dark sienna, a little Van Dyke brown here and there. This tree just lives right here. It goes right on up. There. Put in a basic shape. That's all we're looking for right now. It's just a very basic shape. There. Okay. Now we'll cut him off right here. Put a little snowbank there. And we can turn that right into a reflection into the water. Get a little bit of that white, pull it straight down. And the tree color. Okay. Touch of the yellow ochre, least little touch of bright red. And you can begin defining some of these little limbs and branches here and there. Just like so. All you're using is the top portion of the bristles to create individual little things. Don't put too much color here. This is supposed to be old and dead and just sort of hanging around out here. And we can take a fan brush and a little bit of that yellow ochre and stuff. All those little colors. There we go. Put some little things growing down in here. Okay. Little stick or two. And we're to the point we have a nice, happy, completed little painting. I think we'll call that one finished. And from all of us here, happy painting and God bless.